If you're planning to visit America recently, there's a good chance you've seen videos online showing people getting stopped at airports, getting detained by the officers, or even denied entry. And honestly, social media sometimes makes it look extremely chaotic. The real experience is usually much more straightforward than people always think. So in this video, I will walk you through it step by step, just as you've already made up your mind that you must visit the United States this year. The process actually starts the moment your plane lands. Let's say you arrive at a major international airport like JFK International Airport in New York, Los Angeles International Airport in California, or Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport in Georgia. Once the plane parks at the gate, passengers begin leaving the aircraft and follow signs that say arrivals or immigration chow passport control. This is where every international traveler must go before entering the country officially. At this stage, everyone is usually calm but focused because they know immigration is coming next. After leaving the plane, you'll walk through airport corridors that lead to the immigration hall. Large airports can require a 10 to 20-minute walk depending on where your gate is located. Along the way, you'll see clear signs directing US citizens, permanent residents, and international visitors to different lines. Most visitors will go to the line labeled Visitors or non-US citizens. Don't worry if the line looks long. At busy airports, it can take 20 minutes to an hour, sometimes longer during peak travel seasons, but this is normal. Now you're standing in line waiting to speak with a US immigration officer. This part makes many travelers nervous, but honestly, once you're nervous, the officer will detect and it may seem you came to the United States with something bad in mind rather than your visa status. Just be bold and confident. Most people pass through without any problems. While you're waiting, you should have a few things ready in your hand. Your passport, your visa if your country requires one, your arrival information, your return ticket or travel plan. Immigration officers simply want to confirm that you are entering the country legally and for the purpose stated in your visa or travel authorization. That's just it. When it's your turn, you walk up to the officer's desk. This officer works for the US Customs and Border Protection, often called CBP. The officer will scan your passport and start asking a few basic questions. These questions are usually simple. For example, why are you visiting the United States? How long will you stay? Where will you be staying? Do you have a return ticket? Sometimes they might also ask about your job in your home country or your travel plans while in America. If you're bold in answering these questions correctly, trust me, this conversation usually lasts less than 2 minutes. The officer is mainly checking whether your answers match your travel documents. Most visitors will also be asked to place their fingers on a scanner and take a quick photo. This biometric step helps verify identity and track entries into the country. The system stores the information as part of your travel record. It sounds serious, but it takes about 10 seconds. If you're new here, I'm Shedi Ede, a travel ambassador and entrepreneur. I'm a best-selling author of travel guides, published and distributed through our global book publishing and distribution network. Over the years, I've explored all 50 US states and more than 40 countries around the world. And those experiences are exactly what shaped the work we do today. I'm the founder and CEO of WorldTourGuide, a travel media agency dedicated to helping you travel smarter and better. We create educational travel content and articles, partner with travel companies to bring you the best travel deals. All of our travel guides are available through our global bookstore on our website. And when you visit our website, you'll get more value. You'll download our free travelers template directly from any of the articles on our blog. So don't leave without liking this video and subscribing to this channel. Remember to follow our social media platforms because you can never imagine the travel and tourism value packed for you across our travel media outlets. Now, let's discuss the part social media exaggerates the most. Sometimes travelers are sent for secondary inspection. This doesn't automatically mean something is wrong. It just means the officer wants another team to review something more closely. Of course, everyone knows that the United States of America has long been seen as a land of dreams and opportunities. For many people around the world, visiting America is something they hope to experience at least once in their lifetime. But the reality is that not everyone always tries to enter the right way, and that's one of the main things immigration officers are trained to watch for. Their job is simply to enforce the rules and protect the system that's already in place. So when you see officers asking questions or carefully checking documents, it's important to understand that they're just doing their job. The goal is to make sure that people who are entering the country are doing it the right way and for the right reasons. Common reasons they check documents include clarifying travel plans, checking documentation, random security screening, confirming visa details. You'll simply sit in another waiting area while another officer reviews your case. At this point, stay confident and respectful. Don't be rude, otherwise you'll turn out a social media trend. Sometimes they may ask a few more questions. In many cases, travelers are cleared within 15 to 45 minutes and allowed to continue their journey. If everything checks out, the officer will approve your entry. They will stamp your passport or record your entry digitally, depending on the airport system. This stamp or digital record includes how long you are allowed to stay in the country. For many tourists entering with a visitor visa, the typical stay allowed is up to 6 months, though it can vary. Once that's done, you're officially admitted into the United States. Next, you head to the baggage claim area. This is where you collect your checked luggage from the conveyor belts. Large screens show which flight corresponds to each baggage carousel. After a long flight, this part usually feels relaxing because the immigration step is already behind you. After picking up your luggage, you'll go through customs. This is where officers check what items travelers are bringing into the country. You may be asked to hand over a customs declaration form or confirm your answers at a kiosk. They mainly want to know if you're bringing things like large amounts of cash, agricultural products, food items, commercial goods. Most travelers simply walk through without being stopped. Sometimes officers randomly inspect luggage, but this is routine. Once you pass customs, you walk through the final doors into the public arrivals area, and just like that, you're officially inside the United States. You'll see people waiting for family members, taxi services, rideshare pickups, hotel shuttles, and airport trains. This is usually the moment travelers feel relieved because the whole immigration process is finished. Here's something important many people don't realize. Millions of travelers still enter the United States without problems. You rarely see those stories online because smooth travel experiences are not dramatic enough to go viral. But in reality, the majority of travelers pass through immigration smoothly. The key is preparation. If you're planning to visit the United States, here are a few simple tips that make the process much easier. First, be honest and confident with your answers. Immigration officers are trained to detect inconsistencies, so honesty is always the best approach. Second, know your travel plan. You should be able to explain where you're staying and how long you plan to visit. Third, carry important documents. Hotel bookings, return tickets, and travel itineraries can help confirm your plans if asked. And finally, stay calm and respectful. Immigration officers are simply doing their job of protecting the country's borders. When travelers cooperate and answer questions clearly, the process usually moves quickly. So when people ask me what really happens at US immigration, I always tell them this. It's not nearly as dramatic as the internet sometimes makes it seem. Most travelers walk through the process step by step, answer a few questions, collect their luggage, and start their trip. That's the reality. Of course, every traveler's situation can be slightly different depending on their visa, their travel history, and the airport they arrive at. But overall, the process is structured, organized, and predictable. And once you go through it the first time, it becomes much less intimidating. So if you're planning your first trip to the United States, tell us in the comments section. Just prepare your documents, know your travel plans, and approach the process with confidence. Because for most travelers, the immigration process is simply the first small step before the real adventure begins.